For number 4, you have to write a system of inequalities based on the graph below. We have a couple choices over here to help us just kind of understand how we would eliminate choices and how we could figure out possible solutions. So first of all, I'm going to start with a dashed line. Okay, it doesn't matter what line you start with, you just pick one. So I'm going to go with the dashed line. I'm going to call that line 1. So I'm going to figure out line 1 from here. So I look to see that it's dashed. If it is dashed, then I have two options. Okay, dashed is either less than or greater than. Okay, if it is a solid line, it is less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. One of these. Okay, so if it's a dashed line, we know it's going to be one of these. Now, I see that the darker part here is shaded above this line. So let's look at that. So like if I went above, okay, that's above the line. So that would have to be a greater than. Okay. Secondly, I need to find slope-intercept form. So I need to find a slope and I need to find the y-intercept. So if I look closely, the y-axis is right here. Okay? The x-axis is right here. So this dashed line crosses right here at -2. Okay, that's pretty important because that's going to be the end of our equation. Because where do you start? You start at -2. And then I look to see on this dashed line, where is another good point? Right there. Okay, that's a good intersection right there on the grid lines. Okay, now, from here to here, how many do we go up and over? So I see 3 up, 1 over, and 3 over 1 is just 3x. Okay? Now, look at your choices. I only gave you 2 choices. Most of the time on a test for me, for algebra, you're going to have 4 choices, okay? We just didn't have a lot of space. So I look to see, do I have this matching equation or inequality? Okay, this is pretty much the same. 3x minus 2, it has a greater than. Here, it's greater than, but it has the line. That means it's solid. Okay, that's not a solid line. So I know that's not true. And then they did an intercept of -4. Well, that would be down here. So that's not true. So we know it can't be that one. Okay? Definitely has to be that one. Okay, now, obviously we'd have more choices on a test, so we need to make sure that we know how to find the second inequality. So the second inequality, we have a solid line. Okay? If it's a solid line, we discussed a little bit ago that it has to be one of these. So from that line, we see the darker part is below the line. Okay? That is very important because that means that you are less than. If you're under the line, you're less. This is less. So I would have less than or equal to, well, y, less than or equal to. Then I look to see, okay, there's that y-axis. What is that point it crosses at? So here is 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's use a pink dot. So here's 3. So that would be a +3 as your intercept. That's where you begin. And it looks like if we go up here, this is a great intersection point right there. So how many up and how many over do we go? We go up 1, over 2. Okay, so now we want to compare. We have 1/2 x plus 2. Well, that's wrong. We know it starts at 3. And then your inequality is wrong. It should be equals to. So that's wrong. Here we have less than or equal to 1/2. And then we have our y-intercept 3. So this one matches as well. So my answer here would be A. Okay, the last one down here at the bottom, number 5, it says which graph represents no solution? No solution is letter A. Okay, it has parallel lines, the lines don't touch. So this is no solution. And just to review, this one, you have one solution because you meet at one point. In letter C, you have this one line, but really there's two lines here. So every single point on this line meets. That's many solutions. So on your exam, it might ask you for one solution. It might ask you for many. It might ask you for no solution. So you need to know what each graph looks like and be able to tell me the solution of that graph.